Patriots, L.
Oh yeah, bro. Man, dude, they have me messed up, bro. I thought they could get away with it for at least one more week. I thought like maybe one more week they could get away with it because it's still early season, and no, definitely not.
Yep.
Are we cooking right now?
Yes, sir.
We are cooking.
We are live.
All right, let's go.
We
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was I was watching it at work, bro, and I had my phone on the next to me, and I'm watching it. And dude, their just early down success was not there. And then they got away from their whole game plan of trying to run the ball. Hey, get out of here, mosquito.
Kill
and
that thing.
yeah,
Where's it
no,
at?
we don't do mosquitoes. But it's right here, bro. Yeah.
Get him, bro.
Yeah, fly swatting. Just like those Jets defenders, bro, swatting down passes, stuffing that Jets
Holy
offense,
transition. Oh my god.
Dude, they were all over those receivers and all over Jacoby Brissett, dude. He had no time to get the ball out. I mean, 3rd and long every drive, and they put up 3 points. I didn't get to see a little bit of the Drake May at the end. We'll see when he gets into an actual game. I don't think that like being thrown at the end of a game is much of a show of what he's going to be. I'm going to wait till he gets an actual full game to kind of judge anything of him. But the running of the ball with the Patriots was their identity. I thought that they would be able to do a better job considering the Jets gave up all the rush yards and holes through the first 2 weeks, and that didn't happen. They just stuffed the Patriots in the first and second down, and then they'd get into 3rd and long, and the pass protection couldn't hold up. Didn't have the receivers to get open downfield. It's an easy game plan for success against the Patriots if you can do it. But the Ramondre Stevenson got like 6 carries, I think.
Yeah, he got hurt too. Yeah,
he got hurt.
He was all
and
banged up.
That's the problem, It's like when you have Ramondre Stevenson, you can feed him carries like 25 and 21 through week 1 and 2. They got a chance. But when you don't have a tackle breaker back there like Ramondre Stevenson, this offense is going to be tough to watch all season.
Yeah, this kind of like the Jets. If you just look at this game on paper, this is what you think the score would be. But it's just like it hasn't looked like that through the first 2 weeks. And the Eagles, jeez, it's early, folks. It's 7 a.m. You got to give me a break. But the Patriots, they were giving teams problems the first 2 weeks, and it just seemed like this is pretty much. I don't know. This is pretty much the game I thought it was going to be. I thought Rodgers bounces back. There's really nothing in this game that kind of stood out to me as like, oh, I didn't really expect that. Rodgers looked more comfortable. He was getting the ball out quicker, and it looked like the offensive scheme was just better. They're using Braylon Allen a lot more, and more of like a downhill runner type role. And Breece Hall was catching balls out of the backfield, and it just looked like a
professional offense.
Yeah, they just looked in sync for once after 2 weeks of looking just kind of off the rails with the Rodgers throwing whatever he wants. It looks like there's some more structure there as an offense, but defensively, dude, they're
I texted you before
in.
the season or before the game. And I saw the Garrett Wilson fix his sleeves. I'm like, damn, I'm about to be wrong, bro. Garrett Wilson's got his swag back. He's got the shorter sleeves. He looks so goofy out there. He looked like someone gave him the wrong jersey in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know what was up with that. But, I mean, once he fixed the sleeves, I'm like, damn, bro, I'm about to be wrong on my take.
It was whack.
Immediately when I saw that, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Garrett Wilson, though, is Rodgers, he said it in the post game, too. He's like, if me and Five get on the same page, it's going to be something special. He and Garrett Wilson are still not really linking up like everyone kind of thought, myself included. I don't know if that's just timing or just kind of getting a feel for where Rodgers wants to place the ball and kind of Garrett just run his routes off of that. But that veteran connection that they has with Allen Lazard, he throws his first touchdown pass.
Wide receiver 1.
At MetLife to freaking Allen Lazard, who, I mean, that was a pretty impressive touchdown. Stopped on a dime and got out the field. But yeah, it was.
Oh man,
That's what I thought the Jets were gonna look like all season, and if they can keep that up, they'll be in the playoffs. They just look perfectly in sync after 3 weeks. So hey, 3 weeks after a torn Achilles, not too bad from Rodgers, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the Patriots. It's just catching up with them. I think that everyone thought they were going to be the worst team in the league this year. They surprised people early. Bad teams tend to do this, where they have some fight, new coach, new players. They have fight early in the season, and it's just catching up with them now. So
Yeah.
thought they could get away with it one more week.
Nope.
Didn't. I mean, it was
0 for
20.
1.
The final score was 24-3. Honestly, the Jets should have put up like 30 plus. I'm surprised they didn't. With the way that the Patriots were just not able to do anything the entire game. I still am not impressed by the Jets, but I'm encouraged that they're getting Braylon Allen more touches because I think they're realizing the upside of having an identity on offense with a guy like Braylon Allen who's physical and a tough runner.
Yeah.
I think it's encouraging to see them kind of identify that. Garrett Wilson, I don't know. He doesn't look the same. It's not just the connection. It's something about his play on the field, whether he's not confident, whether he's kind of lost a little bit his route tree with having bad QBs get him the ball to where he's not used to an on-time offense. You see this sometimes with receivers when they played with bad QBs for a while, like a guy like Allen Robinson. I watched his game completely deteriorate when he had to play with QBs who weren't on time, weren't accurate, and he goes from in college to having that to in the NFL playing with Zach Wilson, Mike White, Trevor Siemian, and like a bunch of bums, and it's just when you're having to go back to that, we'll see if he can kind of recover his game a bit, but he doesn't look the same right now.
Yeah, I think the Allen Robinson comparison is a good one. I think it has a lot to do just they haven't really played with each other. I know they had an entire training camp and stuff like that, but it's very hard to replicate regular season NFL games in training camp or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep pushing off the Jets. They did look better. If they went out last week and played the Patriots close or lost for whatever reason, I think they're like you said. There's a lot more reason to panic, but they went out there. They handily beat them. They did what they needed to do on offense, and I'm just excited to continue this team and watch this team grow. And kind of just get that rhythm even more down because, like you said, if he and Garrett Wilson do get on the same page, it's scary, man, because Garrett Wilson,
Mike Williams too.
Yes.
Wait for Mike Williams to kind of start to get on the field a little more and get more targets.
Yeah. Braylon Allen, by the way, how old do you think that guy is? And when do you think
I saw how old he is.
He was born January 20th, 2004. He's 4 days.
Bro's 2004, baby. Bro.
Hey, I'm 04,
old,
baby.
Bro.
Hey, I'm an 04, baby.
We're getting old, bro.
He's 4 days older than me. I'm born the 24th. He's the 20th. That dude is trucking linebackers and putting them in freaking concussion protocol, and I'm just casually watching now. There's nothing wrong with that.
We're talking about him, bro.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're critiquing them, dog.
Yeah, dude. That's what we get. That's what we get to do. We get to critique. Anyways, I just want to put our picks out there. I went 7-9 this week in my picks. Randy, you went 4 for 12.
Oh, was it that bad?
4 for 12. You did hit on
the Browns and the Panthers. Let's go. Or no, the Giants and the Panthers.
Giants, Panthers, Steelers, Bills. That's what you hit on.
Man, I was talking about that Washington and Bengals Monday night game too. We'll get to it later, bro. But I was talking about that one being a weird game, and hey, Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, we'll get that. That'll be the final game. Don't even get me started, bro. Where was that play calling in Arizona? But let's go to Broncos Bucs.
Broncos Bucs. Oh, dude, this game pissed me off, man.
Yep.
This game was so frustrating to watch.
Survivor pools are in freaking the drain right now. Everyone picked the Bucs. I feel like
dude, I rewatched this game, the whole condensed game. I watched every play, and I just wanted to turn it off. It was just frustrating to watch. I'm not gonna lie. The Bucs on defense, they sat back and let Bo Nix just throw all these little screens, all these hitch routes, just move the ball down the field. They had no run game, and they just let Bo Nix pick up first downs with his legs. It was ridiculous. Bo Nix has the most dropped interceptions in the league. He has to. He had another 3 dropped picks this week. He looks like a young Mitchell Trubisky out there. Honestly. He looks like a young Trubisky out there. He looks horrible. But it's just, he has some speed and athletic ability. Trubisky did as well. This guy, I was so frustrated watching this game because the Bucs are, way better of a team. And they just sat back and let the Broncos do whatever they wanted to. They didn't come up and challenge them on defense. And they didn't blitz him. They just sat back and brushed 4, And it's like, what are you... You blitz a young QB that's turning the ball over, and you put him under pressure, so force errant passes, but they just let him sit back there and pick them apart.
Yep. My boy Bucky Irving showed out though for the Bucs. He has to be used more. He only got 9 carries.
You like Rachaad White?
No, I don't. Moves in slow mo.
Yeah.
He had 9 carries for 70 yards, averaging almost 8 yards a carry.
He had that one run where they kind of lined him up like off center fullback and kind of handed it to him, and he just kind of it was a really nice design play. If you can get this guy design touches, he's electric. It's just they don't have an identity on offense, the Bucs. And they have Mike Evans, they have Chris Godwin, they have no physical tone to the offense whatsoever. And Baker's just sitting back there getting hit. The 2 receivers aren't winning. They don't do anything else good in offense.
Yeah. Pat Surtain clamped up Mike Evans, which we talked about in the preview. That should be that's if you can take away the number 1 target and just try to let Chris Godwin and Kate Otten beat you.
Godwin looks great.
Godwin looks good, but it's you can't rely on him to carry your offense.
Too much pressure on Baker and these 2 receivers.
Yeah, Baker. I mean, he tried to. There's a lot of times he was trying to get out of the pocket and trying to make that like Baker magic happen.
Yeah.
And the Broncos either had a spy or were not falling for it at all.
It was an ugly game.
It was brutal to watch.
It was so hard to watch, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, this Bucs team going forward, they have to get back, establish the run. You have. I know I'm a kind of Rachaad White hater. You have 2 good backs. Just
I don't know if you want to call him good.
He's manageable. Like you can use him.
He's a rookie deal guy that's not going to have much production when he goes to another team, probably.
Yeah, but for the time being, him and Bucky Irving are a just fine running back pairing that you can do. You can actually make some good things happen on the ground, and then you open it up with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and stuff like that. But Baker is trying to be the hero again. And he just got. There's plenty of times where he just got sandwiched by these Broncos guys. Sean Payton had a good game plan. Defense had a good game plan that executed.
Their front seven is kind of impressing me a bit.
It's good, man. I told you in the training camp.
There was a lot of talk about it in the offseason that they were going to overachieve a lot of people's expectations. I mean, the front seven through the first 3 weeks looks decent. We'll see as the season goes on. I mean, I think this Bucs offense is going to be so inconsistent all season because they don't run the ball with any kind of tone. It's just they can seam touches for Bucky Irving. He's shifty and can make guys miss when he's in space. But in terms of just like lining up, running the ball when people know they're going to run the ball, they have no sense of identity on offense. It'll be able to establish a run game when they have leads. If they they're not going to be able to close out games when they're running the ball. So it's like this team is going to be very inconsistent all season because there's no identity on offense. There's no tone setting.
I'm with you. You good with this game?
Yeah, I mean, dude, that was just a hard game to watch. That was so hard to watch.
Let's get to Giants-Browns. You're one of 8 upsets from last week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was a lot of upsets this week. I just didn't pick them.
Yeah, we picked both our locks of the week were just wrong. So.
We'll get to the Bears. Yeah, I got a lot to say about them, but the Giants and Panthers. I mean, or Giants and Browns. I mean, it's just whatever. Browns had an opening touchdown drive. Amari Cooper looked good. It's the first time he's showed up with Watson, really, and. I mean, the only thing you really take away from this game is that Malik Neighbors looked great. I mean, he's kind of replacing the whole New York Giants Odell kind of role. Yeah, he's kind of filling that role. And I mean, some of the body control catches he was having and just his athletic ability, he's freakishly athletic. So I mean, he's very impressive. Give him that. But I mean, just the Giants beyond that, it was cool to see Wan'Dale Robinson getting the ball in space a little bit. And just. There's nothing really of note of either of these teams. They're 2 of the 12 worst teams in the league, and the Giants just played better than them today. It's not really much to talk about. I feel like Vanilla Vic, very mid-game.
Really? I think there's a decent amount to talk about from this game. Deshaun again sucked. This is one of the
we're just waiting for him to get benched. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. I was listening to another podcast, and they're saying this is statistically the worst quarterback performance from a Browns player in the past 25 years.
Damn, RG3 was better?
Yes. There was literally
oh man.
I think the next lowest one was like Brian Hoyer.
Hoyer had a good season
Yeah.
actually with them. I think he went like 8-8 or 7-9 or something like
Yeah,
that.
the second half of the season though, he just fell off a cliff. But yeah, Deshaun Watson played like dog ass.
We're just waiting for him to get benched.
Jameis has to be on the field next week. If you're Stefanski,
I give him 6 weeks.
Really, dude,
It's gonna be in the 6 weeks because of the
be.
investment they have of money.
It
And
has
picks.
to be next week, bro. They have to get back on track. They're 1-2. You can't let. You have to do what the Panthers did, and you have to make a business decision not based on where you drafted people. You're just gonna throw away an entire season when you go out and you get players to put around these guys. Amari Cooper is insane, bro. I forget
He's a
how
great
good Amari
player.
Cooper is
He's a great player.
until I watch him play, and then I'm like, there's one touchdown. Obviously, the first touchdown, I don't know how he caught that ball.
Yeah.
That was a good throw by Deshaun. That's probably his best throw of his entire career. But there's another route where Amari set this guy up, kind of walked off the line and gave this guy a head fake and ran a little like a little slant route for a touchdown. The DB was freaking turn around like the washing machine. It was he put him in the spin cycle on a route that was literally just a head fake, and it was Amari Cooper. I benched him in fantasy this week because I was like, dude, fuck Deshaun. I'm not doing this. But at 27, so I was pretty pissed about that.
They're playing against the Giants secondary. We talked about that Giants secondary before the season. We know what they are.
Yeah, they suck. But I just was banking on Deshaun Watson sucking, which he did. But, of course, he still managed to throw 2 touchdowns to my boy. So.
They paid him $230 million fully guaranteed. They're gonna play him for another week or two, and then he's gonna get benched. He's gonna get benched eventually. He's not playing well. They're not winning games. They just gotta keep losing, and then they'll bench him.
Yeah, Neighbors though, you touched on it, dude.
Neighbors, he looks special.
He had 2 catches specifically. One down the sideline where he head topped this poor Browns corner, where it looked like a clear interception. Daniel Jones.
Snatched it off the heezy.
Yeah, if he throws that to anyone else besides Malik Neighbors, that's a pick. But instead, Malik just grabs it off his helmet for a 33-yard gain. And then a few plays later, I don't know what the Browns are doing in the red zone, playing
Talking about the back
zone.
corner end zone.
Yes, and he goes up, ball's behind him, and still goes up, drags the feet. It was just literally made me think about Odell. And I was like, dude, am I back in 2017, 2016 and the freaking whip in the end zone, bro?
The whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the cover of Madden 16.
Literally. Aggressive catch.
He's got to do it.
Yeah,
Shout out Odell.
Yeah. I'm very impressed by him. He's doing this with Danny Dimes too, so
Vanilla Vic.
Just wait, bro, until he gets competent quarterback play, and he's gonna put up like consistently 1,200 yards every season.
Yeah.
So
he looks like one of those guys. He passes the eye test with that for sure. I mean, it's just both these teams kind of suck.
Giants suck. Browns don't suck.
I think they're
Jameis.
I think they're a little overrated. I think Nick Chubb being on the field makes a big difference. I think he's one of the best running backs I've ever watched, honestly. I hope that he comes back from that blowout of his knee last year. I hope he comes back and is able to play well.
Yeah.
I think that just when they don't have Nick Chubb, I think they're just a different team. And I think that's the kind of thing that we're seeing across the league is that running the ball is more important than it's been. And I think we're seeing across the league also. There's not really how many dominant teams, that's why we're seeing all these wide spreads be covered and upsets is because the league is a lot more evenly competitive than I think people realize or was in the past. So we're kind of seeing a little more of that. It's just I think that without Nick Chubb, this Browns team is way less competitive than I think people realize.
Yeah. Are you good with that game?
Oh, yeah.
Let's move on to Chargers and Steelers.
Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy that Justin's probably going to play most of the season, but dang, they're actually fixing him, bro. The way when I watched him in when I watched him in the preseason, he looked skittish in the pocket. He wasn't throwing well over the middle. He was throwing into coverage, and I was like, well, there's Justin. But now I'm watching him in the regular season. They're starting to use his legs as the threat of the offense, and they're playing off that. They're being timely with their options. They're giving a lot more on the options to where they're threatening. The threat of his legs is setting up the rest of the offense, and their pass protection, dude, he's having all day in the pocket, and you're starting to see him get comfortable. if he gets comfortable and he rebuilds his confidence, this quarterback's always been talented. There's a reason why he was drafted where he was drafted. There's a reason why he was in the national championship in college. He's a good quarterback. He has to be able to threaten with his legs, though, and have everything built off that, though, just like the Ravens did with Lamar. He's just the same type of player, and they're doing it. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's really awesome to see that because they're doing everything I wish the Bears did with him. But I guess it took an actual organization who knows what they're doing with talent to get it out of him. So pass protection though is looked great with him, and he's able to sit back there in the pocket, dial up some fucking passes to Pickens. He's got Calvin Austin cooking.
Yeah.
Their tight end looks great as well. What's his name?
Darnell.
88. No,
Fire,
I love
Fire,
I
Fire,
love Darnell. Yeah, Firemouth looks
yeah.
really good, but I love Darnell Washington as that
Yeah.
physical Mercedes Lewis type that they have to the offense. They just have such a physical tone of their team with the way their defense is playing. They're gonna win 9 games, 10 games, do the same old Steelers thing. If Justin keeps getting confident, plays better, maybe they get 11. But I mean,
Maybe.
Justin and the way that this Steelers defense is looking, this is a pretty competent team. And the Chargers, they're in a kind of a different situation. They're looking at a full rebuild right now around Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert going down with that. He got hit hard, kind of got rolled up on after a sack, and was kind of limping after that. Was kind of in and out of the field, off the field after that, and it was kind of like Herbert's there, so you can't really judge that game too much on Herbert's play. Like I feel
It
like
wasn't looking good though, even through the first 2 weeks. I didn't think he looked good.
I don't know. I think he was doing what he needed to do. The ground game was so OP that you just hand the ball off and everything else opens up for you. I think Harbaugh is making things very easy and not putting all the weight on Herbert's shoulders where he's having to throw the ball 50 times like he has since he's come into the league and play a shootout every single week. But yeah, this Steelers team, there's only Arthur Smith is the only dude. I think the Arthur Smith and Justin Fields pairing is a match made in heaven, and I never thought that I'd say that. But
Arthur Smith is very creative with the talent that he's given.
He's very creative, but he's not conventional at all. That Steelers offense looks like they're running just weird plays. That's the only way I can actually describe this. It's like very
They're countering
weird.
off of everything, and the base of the threat is Justin's legs.
Yes.
Which is what the Ravens did with Lamar when they were first building him up.
Yeah, and
it's how you build up a QB like Justin.
Yeah, and Justin,
exactly
he looks good too. You can't deny it. Like he does look more comfortable. This defense obviously is helping him out a bunch. And TJ Watt just continues to be a game wrecker on defense. He's insane. But I want to see. I don't know. I want to see them rely on not Dobbins as much. I think over the course of a season, like running backs, you have to have multiple guys that are going to hurt you.
They need to give Vidal the ball more.
Give Kamani Vidal the ball.
Yeah.
That rhymed. Do it.
Give Kamani Vidal the ball.
Yeah. Seriously,
Bars.
Give him the ball. Give Gus Edwards the ball on short yardage. And then keep Dobbins in the rotation and don't make him such a lead back, I think, because he's got multiple ACL surgeries on his freaking knees already. You don't need to give that guy the ball at 20 times a game. That's just not a recipe for longevity and success long term. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about the Chargers. They are ahead of schedule already. First year, they look good.
Without Herbert, they're probably going to win like 5 games.
Yeah.
Playing with Heineke, they're probably going to win like 5 games. They don't have much of a pass rush beyond Mac. Their run stopping is pretty decent. Like I feel like they kind of fixed the physicality of the team and they brought in a lot of more tone setters on defense that can stop the run. I think that their offensive line looks really good. Got beat up a little bit this game by a good Steelers pass rush, but the thing with them is that they're just kind of trying to find young guys that are going to be a part of the team going forward and figure out who fits what Jim Harbaugh wants to identify the team with. So they're just kind of looking at young talent, trying to figure out who wants to be a part of this thing, this rebuild with them. Vidal, hopefully they get him on the field some more. Why are you giving Gus Edwards the ball? I'm really disappointed in how Gus Edwards has looked. He hasn't really been able to get going much at all with them. I think not having a QB run threat kind of takes away. It adds another defender to the box where he's having to beat one more guy. And I think that maybe with Lamar, I was able to beat up on the defensive fronts a little differently. So I don't have much else to say about this game.
Yeah,
It's
I'm with
just we're looking at a rebuild and a Steelers team that's going to be the same old, same old.
Yep. Eagles Saints. What do you think?
Eagles Saints, man, Saints kind of blew it, bro. I mean,
They had it, bro.
they had it in their hands, bro. I got notes right here on this.
Yep.
I felt like this game felt like a playoff game to me, honestly. I mean, I thought Carr played very smart football. Um, Kamara's if they do lose Kamara, I'm really worried about the Saints offense in terms of season outlook, and he did get kind of banged up towards the end of the game. So I'm kind of watching that. We did see the Saints kind of get away from the play action a little bit this game, and they couldn't get the deep ball to Shaheed, and they only scored 12 points. Good Eagles defense. Vic Fangio has a tendency to do this versus teams that are trending and are hot. He has a tendency to shut those offenses down. So we'll see next week when the Saints go into week 4. But this was kind of a tough test for them. I felt like they should have won this game. They were basically shutting out the Eagles until just before the fourth quarter. So they played a really great game. I think the Eagles are kind of missing that size with AJ Brown. Dallas Goedert really got going this game, but it's all about their offensive line. They would just hold up in protection, let these guys run these crossing routes, and then Hurts would throw it away from the defender, and Goddard's just too big for these safeties that he was matched up on, like a Tyrann Mathieu or any of the linebackers. He's too fast for him. So this offensive line of the Eagles is going to keep them in every single game they're in all season. Saquon Barkley's a difference maker for them that puts this team over the top. So they need A.J. Brown if they're going to be one of the best teams in the league. But I do think that with the base of the O-line and Saquon, they're still going to be able to compete in every single game. And, I mean, ripping off 60 yards when they're needing points or needing something, that's what they brought him here for. That's why they wanted the Bears to sign Saquon Barkley. But,
Nope.
yeah, we got Swift.
Hey, same thing, right?
We got one man's trash is another man's trash. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Saquon,
Unfortunate.
he just looks just with a new spark in him, man. He just looks like he's loving to play the game.
He's hungry.
He's
He's
hungry.
hungry to
He
win.
wants to win. Dallas Goedert stepped up big time when they needed him to. They that catch he had for like 70 yards to put him in.
So dumb, dude.
How in the world
Oh
did
my
the Saints let that happen? It was literally just a little
It was
mesh
some
route.
It was some man coverage,
Yeah,
and the
but how do you
DBs
let
literally
that
just
happen?
like hugged each other in the middle of the field. Oh man.
Yeah, it was
In crunch time, it's
it was
like,
bad.
dude, can't believe they let that happen.
Yeah, Devontae Smith going down is another big loss for them. He's in concussion protocol.
Oh man, he got
He got
destroyed
lit up.
by
Yeah.
that D tackle.
He got lit up by it was D
Oh,
lineman,
man.
and they don't really have anybody behind him. You're gonna
Yeah.
have like Johnny.
It's gonna be a lot of
Wilson.
this O line, hurts his legs, Goddard, and Saquon this next couple of weeks.
Yeah, but Hurts. He played a decent game. It's just like, what are these picks that he's throwing? I just don't. I mean, it was a
He
timing
likes
route.
his big receivers.
I mean, it was a timing route with Devontae Smith across the
end
middle, and it
zone
was just like,
to Matthew.
come on. Yeah, it was like, dude, come on. Like, I don't know. I think if you're going to throw that ball, you have to know that Devontae Smith is going to be there for it because
Yeah.
that's especially in the red zone, you can't make those type of mistakes. He had a few against the Packers in week 1 where I'm like, Jalen, you got to be more careful with the ball there. But yeah, a lot of Goddard the next few weeks.
Yeah.
If I'm this Eagles team, I don't know who they play next week. Do you know who they play next week or no?
No, I haven't seen yet.
But
I can check.
that could be
check really quick.
That could be a
while we're talking.
interesting game. But
Yeah.
yeah, Saquon, dude, he keeps showing out for this team, and
He's gonna do it all season long.
he's gonna do it. Yeah,
He's hungry to win.
This
He's
defense
finally
showed
with a good
up.
team.
Yeah, this defense showed up. They bounced back. They held Kamara sort of in check. Kamara had 30 touches, man, and that's just
Eagles got the Bucs next week.
That's an interesting game.
The way Hurts turns the ball over.
In Philly?
It's in Tampa.
In Tampa? Yeah, that might be a Baker bounce back game, to be honest. I think just they're healthier.
The young corner's looking good for the Eagles though. Quinyon Mitchell's looked pretty good.
Yeah, he does look good. He's
looked pretty good.
They needed a guy to step up right away, and he's done that.
We'll see if the because the D tackles of the Eagles got going this game. You know, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, they were getting some twists going. They were getting some pressure on the quarterback finally. I don't know where Nolan Smith is. I was kind of expecting a little more of him coming into the season. I don't know if he's hurt or if he's just not getting on the field for them. But I was expecting more Nolan Smith, especially with a guy like Hassan Reddick leaving. We're not seeing much of him. Um, this game felt like a playoff game. I think both teams probably gonna end up being in the playoffs. If not, Saints will be fringe. Eagles will definitely be in. But this going forward, like this, the thing is, for years Phillies like to do this, what they call like playing above the rim with the receivers. They like their big receivers. Ever since they had Alshon and they had Zach Ertz and they had one more big receiver. I can't recall the name off the top of my head, but they've liked their big receivers that they can just body defensive backs with and make easy catches for the quarterback since Nick Foles was winning a Super Bowl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've kind of been doing that since, and they're really missing A.J. Brown right now. And I think with Devontae Smith being the only perimeter big receiver they got, I think that you're going to see a lot of Goddard. You're not going to see a lot of outside production from these receivers, perimeter production. You're going to see a lot of running the ball. They need to get Hurts going on the ground a little more because, I mean, he has so much time in the pocket. They got to scheme up some QB draws. You got to scheme up some QB reads as well, some options. Get this offensive line just blowing people off the ball like they do. So they should be good either way. But it's just you don't want to have Hurts dropping back and passing the ball too much to these perimeter options because he doesn't like it. He doesn't do it well.
Yeah, Jahan Dotson's going to have to step up. That's pretty much your number one option right now.
It's not Hurts doesn't do well with these small receivers. Like, I've been really impressed with DeMonte Smith, honestly, through his career. I didn't think that he would be as productive as he was because I think there's a thing with these small receivers and just like longevity and durability. But I've been really impressed with him specifically. But Hurts likes these big body receivers that he can throw away from the defensive back, throw leverage throws, have time in the pocket, let him just scramble and get open. He likes those type of plays. He doesn't like on time precision passing to smaller route running receivers.
Yeah. I'm good with this game. Are you good?
Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu looks great and Paulson Adebo looks great. They don't really do anything special on defense, but they're just super veteran. I think that'll keep them in a lot of games. I like the way Carr played. I think he had a lot of really smart football plays, but Kamara is going to be big for them if they are to be a dominant team this season.
Yep. Let's move on to Texans, Vikings. Dude, your boy keeps dialing up pressure.
Brian Flores. He's going to be head coach after this season.
He has to be. What he's done through 3 weeks and just put the fear of the Vikings in people. It's unbelievable how much Stroud just looked so uncomfortable back there.
They started the game horribly.
Say it again?
They started the game horribly.
Yeah, Texans?
Yeah, like their first 2 drives. I think they turned over the ball on the first drive, and then I think they might have turned it over second drive as well. They had a horrible start to the game.
Dude, Sam Darnold. What is going on with him, man? I did not think through 4 weeks Sam Darnold will consistently play the way he's playing. And this Texans team is good, bro.
They're a very good team. I'm not questioning much of them. I think that they'll learn from this experience, but I think that it's more of just a cred to the early season success of the Vikings.
Yeah, it's credit to Sam Darnold, bro. He's looked good, dude. He's first in the league with 8 touchdowns. And 5th in QBR. I would not expect that coming into the season.
Bro's leading the league in touchdowns. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's unbelievable so far through 3 weeks. And this Texans team, they had your boy seeing little ghosts last week, and
they had him seeing. Yeah,
Sam Darnold put everyone on watch, on notice this week, and came out and dominated. I think Aaron Jones was such a good signing for this Vikings team.
He fits them perfectly what they want to do.
Yep.
And Ty Chandler is a great to what he does. They're very similar style backs, and Kevin O'Connell's he should be coach of the year if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, he has
an assistant of
Sam
the year.
Darnold.
These guys should.
Yeah,
you got 2 head coaches on the staff and high level head coaches.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Jalen Naylor too. Their third
Naylor's looked
receiver
good.
who's stepped up.
Got 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and when Jordan Addison's been gone, he's looked very good. And I'm thinking like when he gets back, when Jordan Addison gets back, Naylor's gonna get a lot of attention from like nickels and stuff like that, like third corners.
Yeah.
He might have like a Jawan Jennings type of role where he's like a bigger guy, but I think Naylor can fly a little bit more. I think Jawan is a little bit slower, but I think he might have a similar impact in that third receiver role. And this Vikings team, they don't look like they're gonna slow down at all too. With this defense, the way that they're playing, and Sam Darnold too, it looked freaking good, dude.
I rewatched the entire game when the condensed version, and I just kind of took a look at like what the Vikings were doing on defense. They're just extremely aggressive, dictating to the other opposing offenses how the game's going to go. And they're just punching them in the face with their zone blitzes, and they're just saying, figure it out. And then they'll surprise them in certain downs and drop everybody into coverage, basically. And they have a lot of versatile pieces in their front seven to where they can do that. They can play that style of football. I do think, though, that this defense is exploitable. And it's a coach like Matt LaFleur, who they're playing this week. Sick game, sick matchup in week 4. It's going to be Vikings-Packers in Green Bay. I think a coach like Matt LaFleur can attack them and kind of take advantage of some of their aggression on defense. Because when you're running all these zone blitzes, it makes it really tough for outside receivers because these corners are literally just sitting there watching the quarterback, waiting to jump on anything quick, waiting for the quarterback to try to get the ball out of his hands. They're not letting anything develop downfield. But if you can get some jet sweeps going, you can get some pitches, you have to be able to break tackles on the perimeter. You have to be able to attack the seams. You have to go empty and spread this defense out because they're kind of built through the versatility in the front seven. A team like the Packers, if Jordan Love comes back, they're going to be able to do that, and it's like, they want to stop the run with their aggressive blitzing and make you have to get rid of the ball quick and then tackle. That's their whole game plan on defense. And a team like the Packers that is very smart, the way they get their guys the ball in space, they give really tough angles for defenses to make tackles. I think that this Packers team is going to give them problems if anybody is going to. So if Jordan Love's coming back, I mean, that's a really interesting game, and it's going to be a total battle of coaching in that game. But I think that the Texans didn't really have the right game plan coming into this game. They probably needed Joe Mixon.
Yeah, they needed him.
They needed Joe Mixon this game. And also, too, I don't think they have the style of offense that really attacks a defense like this, and especially early season when there's still kind of no one's figured them out yet. I think that the Packers could be the team that figures them out. So where they're so aggressive, this Packers team is very smart. They're going to play this week, but the Vikings are a very smart team as well. So there was one note I had about the Vikings in this game. I was watching the game back, and I don't know how many times I've seen this, where like this just shows like the IQ of the football team. They Texans punted them the ball, and the Texans are running it down it within the 5-yard line, and Powell, number 4 for the Vikings, the returner, just comes and blows up the gunner, just like straight up goes and shoulders him and blows him up. And then the ball bounces, rolls into the end zone. And I don't know how many times I've seen a returner like attack a gunner to make sure the ball rolls into the end zone. And that just shows the IQ of the team. So, I mean, I've talked about like 2 head coaches being on this team. This is a very smart football team. So, they're going to be very competitive for the whole season. Sam got beat up a little bit this game, so we'll see. Yeah. But this defense is exploitable. Like you can't attack them. It just takes the right coaching and the right game plan and the right weapons on offense. And I think the Packers might have that.
Yeah, Stroud, he kind of got found out this game. He's not athletic enough to make plays out of the pocket consistently. And when you give him different looks, if you get pressure within that 3-second, 2.5-second time
it's
period,
2 seconds. You're not getting 3 versus the Vikings.
You're getting 2. Exactly. The Vikings are on your ass the entire time, and they have a good secondary too that are looking in the backfield. Pause.
No, when they go ahead and they drop, like the Vikings decide to drop 8, then they run these like smart stunts with like the front, and they still get pressure. Yes. It's like they're super aggressive and smart and well coached and well prepared to make the QB uncomfortable. You got to be able to get out of the pocket. You got to be able to move the pocket. You got to be able to attack the seams and kind of get them going side to side and be able to break tackles. And this Packers team's gonna be able to attack them, but uh, the Texans, their edge rushers as well. I want to talk about really quick. They they weren't able to get pressure with the edges because the tackles of the Vikings are actually very talented, and I think that that's the thing we talked about with the Texans is if the edges don't get pressure, you're putting a lot of stress on this back end to cover, and I don't know if they have the same kind of coverage unit that some other teams do. So we'll see the Texans going forward. I still think they're one of the best teams in the league, but the Vikings were definitely more prepared for this game.
Yep, I'm with you. Let's move on to the Packers-Titans.
Packers-Titans.
Yes, sir. Malik Willis, man, what a player. What a player.
Yeah, this was a really, it's just Matt LaFleur.
It's Matt LaFleur,
Matt
bro.
LaFleur is so impressive. The way he got this quarterback comfortable and playing confident. Like, you did not see this type of play from Malik Willis in the preseason with any of his point in his career. When he got a start, the way that they make things simple for him, and Jaden Reed, like, I think that's the most impressive player on the offense for them. The way they get Jaden Reed the ball and the way they get him running on these angles to where he's just able to beat defenders to the edge. Dude, the way they use him is so impressive, and I think he makes life easy for all these QBs that either one that plays with him. And then the way they got Malik Willis, giving him the green light to take off when he wants to take off, running options. Emmanuel Wilson, he's looking sick.
He does look good.
He's looking really sick.
I want to touch on him too. I'm glad you brought him up.
I was saying a couple weeks ago, I thought he was maybe the better back than Josh Jacobs. I like Josh Jacobs, and I know people are gonna say, Josh Jacobs is making $48 million or whatever. I think Emmanuel Wilson's a good player. I really do like him, and I think he fits this offense with LaFleur and what he wants to do really well.
Yep.
So, Titans, it's just it's Will Levis. He's going to be high efficient with the completions, and then where are you throwing the ball? He's throwing it straight to Jair Alexander's face mask.
Yeah.
There's 7.
Come
so
on, dude.
The game looked really good to start. It looked really good. I was like, dang, Titans will be able to score with them a little bit. And then the Packers front 7 took over, and then he threw the pick 6, and it was just, it was just kind of downhill pretty fast for the Titans. But the Packers, though, we talked about the defense, all the talent on it, the front 7. This is how they should look. The secondary is looking better. They needed a safety like Xavier McKinney, so seeing him back there playing well is good for them.
Yes. It's
good for them.
Yeah.
But this is a very talented and well-coached Packers team.
Yeah, this I think Will Levis is the white Jameis. He just
dude, that's literally what I have. Levis is white Jameis. Like literally
Stop
my
it.
notes, bro. That's
Do you
literally what I
actually?
have. Yeah, it says
We didn't
Levis
coordinate
is
that,
white
people.
Jameis. Yeah.
hell yeah.
I swear to you, bro.
See,
That's hilarious.
great minds think alike, bro.
Exactly, bro.
That's funny that we said that. But Malik Willis got traded August 26th. When you were talking, I looked it up. I was just curious. What day did they sign him?
He got traded right before the season.
August 26th, bro. He's been in the system for less than a month, and he looks very comfortable. And that's a tribute to him and the way he's been able to pick up. But it's mostly Matt LaFleur.
LaFleur completely changed up his offensive game plan.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, we got a QB that's athletic. We're going to run all these options, put Jaden Reed in the backfield, run sweeps with him, run counters with him. We're going to run the ball 35 times with Josh Jacobs. He completely adjusted what they're doing just at a drop of a hat, dude. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's coaching.
It is coaching, and that
so
next week matchup is going to be fun to watch, man. If anyone's going to find a soft spot in the Vikings defense, is going to be this guy.
They exist. It's just a coach. You need a coach like this to get him.
Yep. Titans, just horrendously mid, in my opinion. They're not a bad team, but
there's a whole lot of mid in the league right now. They're in that category.
Yeah, there's probably 20 teams in the league that are neck and neck with each other for the mid off. The
mid off, exactly.
This front 7, like you talked about on the Titans, they're good. They can stop the run.
Yeah.
It's just like
team speed on the defense is kind of like lacking, I think. And Jaden Reed beat him up a little bit. Malik Willis running the ball beat him up a little bit.
Yeah. When you have like dynamic guys that can get to the edge and stuff like that, it's when it really starts to hurt a guy or a team like the
I hope they
Titans.
don't play the Ravens this year, because if they play the Ravens, they're going to go off on them.
Who are you saying?
The Titans.
The Titans?
Yeah, I hope that a team like the Ravens would just annihilate this team.
Yeah. I'm good with this game. I don't know
Yeah, I
if you
mean,
want to touch on anything else, but
I think I'm good as well. I
okay.
mean, just LaFleur is so impressive with the Packers, and I think Malik Willis. I have not seen this type of play from him, and I think that it's super impressive of how confident he is.
Yeah. Let's go to Bears Colts now. I'll let you have the floor for this.
Oh, how many times do you think Caleb dropped back in this game?
I'm gonna say 48.
60.
Shut the fuck up.
60 times they dropped him back.
Oh my god.
They talked all week about how they were going to run the ball and how they were going to set a tone on offense. He had like 52 or 55 passing attempts, but they dropped him back 60 times. With between penalties and sacks that he took, they dropped him back 60 times.
Holy
After seeing the pass protection through the first 2 weeks, you'd think they'd run the ball, right?
You'd think.
You'd think. After they talked all week about it, you'd think they'd run the ball, right?
They have 3 guys that they could do it with.
I mean, Switch is a third down back. I think this is we've seen enough. I think that even after last week, I was like, Switch is a third down back. I think that
Herbert needs to be the number 1 guy.
I think Roshan does. I
Really?
think this
Okay.
backfield misses size and physicality and tone setting. I think that you got small guys. You got 5'9" Herbert, who's a great counter runner. You can have him hit a one cut and go after the defense is tired. Swift is a pass catching third down back. He doesn't seem to have much instinct in terms of feel and setting up blocks. Roshan will beat a defense up. Like he was running the ball well, and they just didn't want to run the ball. And Colts did literally exactly everything I talked about in the pregame last week in our predictions. Literally every single thing they did in this game, I said they were going to do. It was what's his name? Anthony Richardson sailing passes straight to the defense like I talked about. It was him overthrowing receivers like I talked about. It was Jonathan Taylor's a great running back, and he sets up his block really well. He had a couple plays in there where it was like, yep, he's probably a top 5 back.
He's a top 5 back.
He's a top 5 back. Their defense is extremely mid. They had the worst rush defense in the league. And the Bears come into this game run for 53 yards. And it's like offensive line injuries, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, run the ball. Roshan was running the ball well, and they dropped back 60 times. And Caleb throws 2 picks. He gets sacked 4 times. The Bears had a 1-possession game in the fourth quarter, about 6 minutes left. They get the ball. And then they drop back again. What do you do when you have the ball and it's a 1-possession game? You smash the ball down the field, you drain the clock out, and you go and win the game. What do? They drop back on like a 5-step drop, and he gets strip sacked. And then the game's just over. It's like, what the F are you doing?
Yep.
This Shane Waldron, oh my gosh. I cannot believe him that they did this. Like, they literally thought they were going to outsmart the Colts. Oh, yeah, we're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. Nah, we're dropping back 60 times with the rookie QB, and we can't pass protect. It's just disgusting. I mean, it was my lock of the week because I thought they would actually run the ball. If they run the ball, they win this game. The Colts were beating themselves the entire game like I knew they would, like I said they would in the preview. And the Bears just shit themselves and lost, like literally gave the game away.
I hope everyone listening that doesn't know Randy, he's probably the most easygoing dude of all time. He's very chill and laid back, and I don't think I've actually really seen him pissed off.
God,
but he's
bro.
pissed right now, folks. And
dude,
there's
60 dropbacks. 60.
60's unbelievable.
You got pressured on 36 of 37 dropbacks the week prior, and then they drop him back 60.
Yep. And this defense, man,
wild.
This defense. Well, first off, you should have when
Jackson
Smith and Jigba was interviewed. You should have taken that as a sign of things to come, because
they interviewed Clint Kubiak twice.
Clint Kubiak would be the perfect
They interviewed
guy.
Clint Kubiak twice.
He would be the perfect guy for this offense.
They should have signed Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, they should have done a lot of stuff, but now they're 1-2 and dropping games to the Colts. And this defense is doing their thing. That's
this
the
is
most
the top 5
frustrating part.
defense in the league.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. You were saying that from the jump, and I give all props to you. You saw stuff from your team, and I mean, I
know this team pretty well.
It's tough to if you don't really know the players on the team too well. It's tough to kind of gauge like that. But through 3 weeks, they definitely look like a top 5 defense. This defense, I feel bad. Honestly, just feel bad for them because Shane Waldron is putting Caleb in spots where he's not going to be successful, and this defense is going to have to pick up 70% of the slack every single game just to have a chance. You know, if a defense like this played with a competent offense with a competent OC, this is a playoff team.
This is a playoff team.
Yeah, so
that's why I'm so frustrated. Is
Yep.
because like this team,
the potential's there.
this team should start the season like on paper. They should start the season 7-2. With the schedule they have coming up, 7-2, 6-3 should be the start of the season, and they're 1-2 right now.
Yep.
Okay, they played the Texans. Fair. They should have lost probably, but the way the Titans game went, disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like Shane Waldron wants to like show off his shiny toys that he's got with the draft picks and the investments, and it's like they don't even know what to do with DJ Moore. They literally run slants and they throw him jump balls, and it's like he's getting obliterated on these slants. He's getting the S beat out of him, bro. And it's like, dude, it's just frustrating to watch. I cannot believe that this is really what they plan on doing. I mean, it's like Caleb threw for 360 yards. It didn't feel like 360 yards. It felt like they were getting just stuffed on every single play they were trying to run. And cool, Roma Dunes, they had production. Cool, Cole Kmet had production. He put up 16 points. 360 yards passing and 16 points. They were getting shut out at halftime.
Yeah.
Empty yards is what you're looking at right now. There's no identity on offense. You're getting your quarterback killed. You're getting his confidence killed by making him turn the ball over. What gain is there in this, you know?
I want to touch on just special teams real quick. Cairo might have
his leg strength is so weak.
I was just gonna say, bro, he can't make a 54-yarder. You see guys like Kemi Fairbairn and Brandon Aubrey, they're banging from freaking 58, 60 consistently, bro. And it's not even oh, do they have the leg to get there?
They're putting it over.
Yeah, it's like if it's on target or not. Cairo looks like, I don't know what's wrong with him. He needs to hit legs more or something. This
is what he's always been.
He
doesn't have leg strength.
He's
but
a placement kicker.
Inside the 50, he puts the ball through.
Yeah.
But it's like when you need one from range,
he cannot deliver.
You're throwing a Hail Mary if it's 58 yards or more.
Yeah, which is sad, bro, because
it's unfortunate.
You need, like, that is the difference between just getting points on the board and getting some confidence of like, okay, offense, we put points up on the board.
Confidence that you can score from different areas of the
field.
field.
And defense too. Okay, my offense finally put up points on the board, but when he just misses like 54, 55 yarders, you're like, dude, short. We have to get like in deep into the opponent's territory because
to even score.
Yeah, to even get points on the board. So I feel bad for you, man.
Officiating was pretty bad this game as well. I'm gonna just short touch on it. The whole, for people that watched the game, you probably saw it, but I mean the whole forward progress thing. I don't know if you watched the game or not. There was a play with Anthony Richardson where he was trying to throw the ball and they strip sacked him and they blew the whistle after and then said he was down because of forward progress. And then there was a play later where Jonathan Taylor was stood up on the goal line and they didn't blow the whistle and let him get pushed into the end zone.
Yep.
After,
I'm with you, bro.
When the play should have been stood up. There was 2 plays in there that were crucial, get points in the game that the refs completely blew. And it's just, man, you know, it's like seeing them lose this game. This was a game they should have won 100% with the way that Richardson was turning the ball over, missing throws, literally like I said he was going to in the preview because he's a predictable quarterback.
Yep.
And the way that their defense was one of the worst in the league in terms of being able to get dictated to of how the game's gonna go. Disgusting, bro. Disgusting that they lost this game. They don't know what to do with DJ Moore. Good to see Roma Dunze get some catches, but he was getting blown up. Cole Kmet was getting blown up. When these receivers are getting catches, they're getting destroyed. Not like, quarterbacks protecting them with good passes like Brock Purdy does at San Fran. These receivers are getting like lit up because this offensive coordinator doesn't know how to establish anything. So this is a very interesting point in the season of like there's a lot of red flags on this team in terms of the coaching. Matt Eberflus, they were going to go for 2, and they didn't know they were going to go for 2, and they had to waste another time. They had to waste a timeout. Yeah. Well, because they didn't know they were going to go for 2, and then last week the challenges. It's like you're starting to see some massive red flags in coaching on this team. So talent is there. they're looking like the worst team in the division, and that's really unfortunate because they should be able to compete with the rest of the division because this is a good division. They're gonna get beat up when they play these other teams because they're deficient in areas they can't be.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think you said that all that needs to be said about this game.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought up the forward progress because not just this
that was
game,
bad. That was so bad.
not just this game though. I've seen that multiple times where it's like, okay, forward progress
The
is
Cardinals
stopped.
game with
Yep,
the Lions.
yep. Forward progress is stopped, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, where's the whistle? And then your 300-pound offensive linemen are just coming in and pushing you guys into the end zone. I'm like, okay, when is forward progress stopped? And if it is stopped, blow the whistle because it's not fair to ask a defense to stand a guy up and hold him there for 5 seconds and then have 800 pounds of man pound you into the end zone.
Yeah.
Pause again. But just stuff like that just drives me nuts because I'm like, this is just catering to the offense even more. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that. I'm glad you
Sus.
brought it up. But I'm good with that game. Let's go
Yeah.
to Panthers Raiders now. What do you think?
Andy.
Well, actually, I should not say I know what you think.
Yeah, dude.
This,
This team was out there fighting for pride like it's June, bro. The way this offense came out, dude, Andy was dealing, bro. He was absolutely
He
dealing.
was dealing, that won't lie.
Dude, dude, this is exactly what I said, bro. I thought he was gonna throw for 350, bro, and 3 touchdowns. He threw for 212 in the first half and 3 touchdowns. Bro was playing flawless football out there, dude. That was hilarious, honestly. Raiders just ran into a buzzsaw, bro. He just ran into an absolute
I'm gonna
buzzsaw,
spit my
bro.
water out.
Raiders just ran into a buzzsaw. I mean, it's just, dude, the QB position with the Raiders, it's gonna be the same old story all season. They're gonna flip to what's his name?
Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, they're gonna flip to Aiden, and it's gonna be the same thing. He's gonna be turning the ball over, and then they're gonna go back to Gardner, and then he's gonna be turning the ball over. They just don't have an answer right now, and they're just gonna be able to lose any game, any week because of that. When they protect the ball, they'll be competitive. When they, I think the biggest thing about the Raiders is their run game. I thought they'd be able to run the ball better.
Me too.
Their run game is horrible, and they can't get anything going. I think their confidence is completely shot after this game, and this could turn really bad really quick for them after seeing them get whooped like that by the worst team in the league. I mean, like I was saying about the Panthers.
Mhm.
I like their offensive weapons. I actually really like their offensive
Yeah.
weapons. I like Deontay Johnson. He showed out.
He did.
That dime to Adam Thielen, bro.
Dude, that was a
Whew.
freaking dart, bro. I was like, oh my
Years,
gosh.
dude, I was lit, bro.
My dad's on the couch. He's like, the red rifle's back. I'm like, oh my God.
Bro's been back like he never left, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's a professional QB, bro. This dude has like 30-something thousand
He's a
passing
pro.
yards. He is a starting QB.
Yeah.
People don't want to start him because that's how you end up in that whole little purgatory thing.
Yes.
But Andy is a professional QB. He's probably a starting QB.
Yeah.
And Panthers should have traded Bryce Young last week, bro, because his value's gone in the tank after seeing Andy come out and light a team up with this offense because this offense is competent. Chuba Hubbard. What, he had 160 yards from scrimmage?
Yeah, he did.
So this O-line's not bad. Not too bad.
And yeah, it's just amazing what competent quarterback play does for a running game. Because
What we say in the team preview.
Yeah.
Start Andy Dalton.
dude, gotta give Randy his props.
Man.
I did not expect this from Bryce Young, how bad he's been, and I definitely did not expect this from Andy Dalton. I knew he was good. I knew he'd be better, but not this much better.
I think I said in the game preview that the Panthers were going to put up 30.
I
I'm pretty sure that they were going to put up 30.
We'll
They had
we'll have to
34.
rewind the tape on that, but dude, I wouldn't be surprised. You're dead on. Chuba Hubbard, he looks dynamic too when he runs the ball too, which is so funny to say after 2 weeks of nothing happening for this Panthers team. But there's one other running back who needs to come back still. Goes by the
Hubbard's
name
not a bad player. You can
Jonathan
run with
Brooks,
Hubbard.
bro. I'm telling you, when Jonathan Brooks comes back and this offense is still competent with Andy Dalton there,
Is he coming off a knee injury?
yes. But okay,
Next year will be his year.
yeah. Well, I think if they just use Chuba Hubbard right, they can kind of ease Jonathan Brooks back into it. But look for Jonathan Brooks to get back like week 12 through 16. He might just be like a huge fantasy guy next year because He's electric when he gets the ball in his hands. And
I don't know what year is Chuba in his rookie deal.
think
It's
he's
probably his fourth. This might be his fourth year in his
he's
rookie deal. If
third
this
or
is the
fourth.
fourth year in his rookie deal, Jonathan Brooks in the Dynasty Fantasy League, yeah. This Panthers team, though, I mean, it's you want to talk about purgatory, bro. This team is gonna win like 5 games this season. Defense is still the defense. They had a good game against Gardner and Aiden O'Connell, but you want to talk about season outlook? 5 wins,
Yeah.
maybe 6 at most. They're not a good team.
Yeah, I'll actually give him 6, to be honest. But
If Andy's lighting him up like this every week, but that's not going to happen.
No,
Andy
it's not.
Dalton, there's a reason why he's not a starter. He's
Yeah.
a good QB. There's a reason why he's not a starter though.
yeah, he got drafted in 2021, 4th round.
So
this
he's
is
got
his fourth.
this
Yeah,
is
Third.
4th year then?
set 2022, 3rd year.
3rd year, yeah. So
Yeah.
he's got one more. Yeah.
No, 4th year. Right?
4th year.
He's got one more.
Yeah.
So hey, dude, he's doing his thing.
Brooks in a dynasty league though.
Brooks, I would heavily consider if he's
Man, what
available.
do they do now though? What do they do now?
Talking about the Panthers,
Yeah, what do they do?
like just going forward with do they try to win games, tank? I don't know. That's a great question.
What do you do? I mean, you kind of just welcome to purgatory.
I think this is more for Dave Canales and his coaching, just integrity and hey, I swear it's not me. It's this freaking other guy over
I
here.
told you they were out to prove something this
Yeah.
week, though. You know that they're fighting for pride, bro.
He was fired up on the sideline too with Andy Dalton too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
This team's getting disrespected because they're getting dumped on every week. You know, it's
Yeah.
like no grown men want to get dumped on and be like an embarrassment like that. And they were hungry for a win and they got one. It's just they can't play the Raiders every week.
yeah. Bryce Young, top 5 bust of all time.
Top 2 maybe.
Dude, he's up there with like
Top 5, not 5.
Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell.
He's up there with Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Jamarcus the worst probably. He's up there with Jamarcus, especially with what they gave up to get him.
Yeah. Dolphins Seahawks. You good with that game? I don't know if you want.
Yeah,
to
I'm pretty good. Pretty good with that game.
Dolphins
Tough to
Seahawks.
see Thielen get hurt.
Yeah,
tough to
it's
see
tough.
that, but,
he's got some crazy hair going.
Keep
too.
an eye
Man.
on Xavier Lee. No, his hair looks great, bro.
It's fire.
He looks sick, bro. But I mean, talking about Dolphins Seahawks. I mean, thought they'd be able to run the ball better. Dolphins. Didn't A-Chain have like 26 yards rushing or something like that? Unfortunate.
It's. I told you this is what was gonna happen, bro. Skylar Thompson is.
I thought they'd be able to scheme up some more plays to get the players the ball in space. But I mean, I know the Seahawks defense is pretty competent and good, but it's just I thought the Dolphins would be able to scheme players up better than they did, and with the way McDaniel, what his resume has been, you know, I think they need to get Jalen Wright the ball some more. I think they're just smashing A-Chain into a wall, and he's gonna get hurt, dude. I don't want to see that.
He's not a big durable back.
He's
that can
not a
take
big
a lot of
durable back.
hits.
Jalen Wright looks like he can handle some more load though, so they need to get him the ball more. But Tyreek Hill dropping a pass or 2 in this game, and it's just they're not mentally in it. I think they're kind of seeing the writing on the wall with Tua not being in there, because at least with Tua, you know, you can have a functioning offense.
Yes.
I think he's very much like an Andy Dalton. Honestly, I think that people give him a little too much credit. But I think that at least with him, you could have a competent offense. But with the O line getting banged up, with QB banged up, Skylar Thompson got banged up, you're just reaching at this point. It's like this is a tough look in the season. I think one of the most disappointing things about this Dolphins team though is that secondary not showing up. I think Jalen, what's his name? Corner 5, Jalen Ramsey.
Mhm.
Jalen Ramsey getting roasted for that touchdown versus DK Metcalf was tough to watch.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
after getting paid, it's
Yeah.
brutal.
So it's just a really tough outlook on the season for the Dolphins, but it's just good for the Seahawks. They're 3-0.
Geno needs
Defense
to
is
clean it up.
good. Geno needs to clean it up if they're going to have a successful season, not just a winning, making the playoff season. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this team is very talented. I think that they really do need Kenneth Walker if they're going to be a better team, an actual real contending team.
Yeah.
But hopefully this line can get some continuity and start to really look better down the stretch of the season so they can do something with this year and not just, oh, we had a really good year with the first-year head coach, because they are a very talented team on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, this Seahawks team, they got weapons. They got Tyler Lockett, who looks fine, doesn't look. I mean, he's kind of lost a little bit of that twitch, but he's still serviceable. Jackson Smith.
He's a reliable clutch guy for them.
Yeah, and you got another guy, reliable guy, in Jackson Smith and Jigba. Even though I'm not the highest on him as like a full-on 2, as a 3, he's fine.
3 is fine.
And you got DK on the outside, a big physical guy. Who can
him
take
and
the
AJ
top
Brown.
off.
It's just those two.
Bro,
it's those two, and maybe put Nico up there too. But those three,
I would put Nico up there too. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like the physical receiver, I love that mold, and I mean, having a guy like DK Metcalf is that easy button like we talked about with some other teams.
Zach Charbonnet looked good too. He looked way better this week than he did last week. He was way more efficient, averaged about 5.1 yards a carry, had 2 touchdowns. He'll do until Kenneth Walker gets back.
Serviceable back.
It's not who you want, but when a guy like Kenneth Walker is hurt early in the season, especially with an oblique injury, you don't want that to kind of linger. You want him to get fully healthy. And if Charbonnet is going to keep putting up 91 yards on the ground and add 3 or 4 catches a game for 24 yards, you'll take that from the backup running back. You'll take that. You can win games like that. So, Seahawks 3-0, pretty impressed. Not necessarily with this game, just as a whole. The way that
lucky the Dolphins were banged up, I think.
Yeah, I think this is a different game. Tua is in there. If anything, Tua is just a game manager, and he can get the ball out to the playmakers. And Skylar Thompson,
give the guys some run after the catch opportunity.
Yeah, Skylar Thompson doesn't look like he belongs on the NFL field.
Sign Ryan Tannehill. Bring him back.
Dude, I told my dad, and you touched on it too. They signed Huntley, but they didn't play him because he was.
Tyler Huntley. Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. I'd rather see them sign a guy like Tannehill and try to actually do something with the season. Yeah. I think Tannehill could do the same stuff that Tua does.
Yeah, I agree. I think at least he can just get the ball to Reek and Waddle and just let them do it. But
yeah,
Lions
tough
Cardinals.
outlook for them. Lions Cardinals. Go ahead, bro. I mean, I'm not totally surprised in the outcome.
I'm not either.
Yeah,
I'm not too hot about this one. I picked the Cardinals to win because I expected I expected the Cardinals to look better on offense than they did.
Yeah.
This looked like old Kyler. I think the thing with Kyler is he'll have a good game, and then all of a sudden I think he lets it get to his head like really quick. Like he had an insane game against the Rams, right? And then this game,
to the Hall of Fame, he's feeling himself a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, he is trying to do everything by himself with his legs, with his not letting the ball go quick, which is why he's been successful the first 2 weeks. Is just getting the ball out quick and then taking shots periodically to Marvin. You know, there were a lot of times this game where Kyler was. There's one play in particular where I want to touch on it. It was 4th and 1. It was a little QB keeper, but he also had Michael Wilson coming on a drag, rolling with him, and Kyler is so made up in his mind that he wants to make every play that Michael Wilson is literally he's from me to you almost, from me to the sink. He's 5 yards away. Yeah. Kyler just has to shovel pass it to him or literally just underhand it to him. And Michael Wilson's inside the 5. Yeah. But Kyler instead tries to take it by himself, reach the goal, extend it for a first down, and gets stopped short. Yeah. So that's a turnover. That's just one of the many plays where it's Kyler, what are we doing? I don't know if it was the play calling. I don't want to blame Petzing too much because
you got to give this offense probably about 6 weeks, and then we'll know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some of the play calling, the defense, I mean, you hold one of the top 5 offenses to 20 points at home. Your offense needs to put up more than 13 points. That's just unacceptable from an offense. And especially later down the stretch with the play calling, we'd get the ball back. We picked Dennis Gardeck, fucking picked Jared Goff up.
Goff's turning the ball over now, though.
He doesn't look as good as people thought.
He's turning the ball over. Yeah. He's kind of regressed a little bit, it looks like.
But they did go back to Monty. They kind of got away from him in the middle of the game, and then all of a sudden they're
so weird.
Yeah, they don't stick with it, which I don't get. Which I was cool with, but
you should smash up any team they're playing against. Give them 25, 30 every game.
Yeah, but
until he breaks down, bro.
This defense
ride the wheels to the butt. Ride those till the wheels fall off. Is that what they say?
Yeah. Cardinals defense though, they look good. They they kind of impressed me a lot. They got a ton of huge stops to get the ball right back in Kyler's hands, and he just pissed it away, going 3 and out every time. I'm like,
Didn't they have like a pick six though that got negated by a delay of the game penalty or
oh
timeout or
my
whatever?
gosh, I'm so glad you brought this up. That's such BS, dude. I'm
This Cardinals defense is kind of overachieving. I think there's a bigger red flag on Jared and this Lions offense though, because this is like a couple weeks now we're seeing Jared throw the ball to the defense.
yeah, this Cardinals team, like that. I'm glad you brought up that play call, that pick six, because how many times have you seen the clock hit 0-0 and they get the snap off and they let it go? But all of a sudden, when Jared Goff gets a snap off at arguably 2:01 or 2, and they're trying to get to the line and go quick, all of a sudden, when he throws the pick, it gets called back because it was a 2-minute warning. Okay, so say the Lions take that for a touchdown. Are you calling that one back too? I highly doubt it, because that pissed me off so much. I'm like, okay, that when that happened, I was like, okay, this is just not our game, because Kyler doesn't look great. We're not moving the ball. We're in weeks past, we've gone positive on first down, staying ahead of the chains. All of a sudden, we're throwing the ball on first down when you have James Conner, who's consistently getting 4 or 5 yards a carry.
He's an identity for them.
Yes, and you have to give him the ball. I don't care if you're down. You're down only one score the entire game. It's not like you had this insurmountable. You had
play to win the game.
Yeah,
you don't chase.
Exactly. There wasn't like a 25-point insurmountable lead where you're playing from behind and you need to pass the ball and save time. You're down one score for 2 full quarters almost. Run the fucking football. Run the ball with James Conner. You have an O-line who's proven that they can move people up front. It's not even the most the healthiest O-line. We're on like our 4th right tackle now.
Especially when you got injuries on the O-line. That is when you run the ball.
Football, bro. It's just pissing me off so much. Drew Petzing just got it. There's got to be a talk to Kyler. Be like, dude, you don't have to do everything. Look at Josh Allen, what he's done. He's not doing everything, and he's playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, because when it's time to make a play, he'll make the play. But he's not trying to go hit the go ball every single time. He's not trying to scramble for 8 seconds and throw crossbody on like a scramble drill every time. Stay in the offense, stay within the offense, drop back, stay ahead of the chains, and when it's time to make a play, Kyler, you're athletic enough to make those plays. But don't feel like you have to do everything yourself. You have guys around you. You've built Gannon and Petzing, and this entire Cardinals organization has built players to put around this guy, and he's just not taking advantage of it. And it's frustrating to watch. It's 1 week, but I don't know. This one hurt a little bit more because of how good the defense played, if that makes sense. And this Lions
they've been
offense,
overachieving.
Yeah, this Lions offense, like to your point, Jared Goff, what's really going on there, and why are they going away from Monty every single time? Sorry,
that's
my weekly ramble, but yeah.
I mean, we both got to do that on our teams, so I'm not hating on any of it. But I think this Lions team does not look like they're ready to compete for a Super Bowl. They look like a team that's going to go one and done in the playoffs. They look like a team that is kind of lost itself, and I don't know if they're saving Montgomery for the postseason. I don't know.
Hey, they might. I don't know.
I don't know if the Goff is just kind of testing some things and trying to do more than he's done in the past 2 seasons, but he looks like he's completely out of his game in the game manager, execution, on time, play action hits. And I don't know. There's a lot of questions about this Lions team, and I don't remember who they play this week. I could probably check that right now really quick if you wanted to, or I got it maybe. But depending on who they play, I think any given week, the Seahawks,
Monday night.
Oh, they can lose that game too, easy. That secondary containing a guy like DK Metcalf. We'll do our preview in 2 days from now, but yeah, there is a lot of like questions about this Lions offense and the play calling and the play of Jared Goff. Those 2 things stand out the most because they are who we talked about them being. They are the team. They're just not playing to their strengths right now, and that's a big question mark for them going forward.
Yep. That hook and ladder touchdown, by the way.
Sweet.
So fucking stupid. I was pissed. I was like,
it was pretty sweet.
We're getting recess freaking plays scored on us right now. It was great play design. I'll give it to him, but jeez, bro.
You don't see a lot of teams execute it that well.
No, it looked so effortless. So I don't know. They need a hook and ladder to beat us. Whatever. It's not a big deal. But I'm good with this game.
And a call. to negate a pick six.
Exactly, yeah. But move on. A lot of game left. Niners Rams. This game was nuts, bro. What on God's earth? What happened this game?
The Niners penalties and key drops, they just blew it. I mean, they had a drop where it would have set them up in field goal range at the end of the game, and man, they're really missing Ricky Pearsall. They really need to get him out there as soon as they can because Ronnie Bell, dude, he blew some massive plays for them, drop passes. It's just, I mean, I'm stoked to see Jawan Jennings start to get more volume in terms of his targets. He's kind of like a Marquise Colston for them, like that really big possession receiver that just kind of bodies people, and he's got strong hands, some of the strongest hands I think in the league right now, from what I've seen in terms of making tough catches with guys on him and guys fighting for the ball. Dude's got really sick, strong hands, but the penalties, the timeliness of the penalties, and the pass interferences, the key drops. They just had very untimely penalties and drops for the Niners. And, I mean, but this is what you see when you got the players that you sign and that you're relying on down and out. So it's like with guys like Ayuk not showing up, I think this team is very susceptible to lose most games because, I mean, Brock Purdy had a good game. Brock Purdy played well. Like, I think, honestly, his ball placement, movement in the pocket, knowing when to extend, when to take off. Like, dude I'm not going to lie, he kind of looks like an elite quarterback at times. But I know you don't want to hear that. But, I mean, honestly, at times, he looks like an elite quarterback in terms of the way that it's not that he just completes passes. It's the ball placement and getting his guys opportunities to protect themselves. He's very intentional about where he puts the ball.
I agree.
Not a lot of QBs do. He has complete control over the football, and it's extremely impressive. I know he's playing the Rams defense. Tre'Davious White continues to struggle for the Rams, but Ayuk, dude, they have to get Ayuk going if they're going to be able to stay afloat while some of these other guys are hoping to get healthy. Because Jawan Jennings, 11 catches, 175, 3 touchdowns, but he got hit pretty hard sometimes in this game to where it's like he was making tough catches and he can do that, but you can't be relying on just him in the passing game. You got to have production from Ayuk and what's his name? Mason looked good again. He's just a very serviceable back that's going to hold the fort until McCaffrey gets back, but you really need Christian McCaffrey. I saw something about him going to Germany to get a second opinion on his Achilles, bro, and it's like that's a really big red flag for his health going forward in the long term of the season. So, man, a lot of questions about the Niners and their competitiveness going forward because they blew a game against a team they should have blown out, and it looked like they were going too early. Ram just won in the margin. Special teams, red zone, lack of penalties, scoring before the half. Shout out to Tutu Atwell. Tutu Atwell looked great. Had my dad pick him up in fantasy. He needed a receiver. I'm like, this your guy. Projected 3 points, got 13. Big key catches though.
Yeah, he had some big time plays late down the stretch.
He's a real deep threat. Like I actually really like Tutu Atwell for their offense, especially with a guy like McVay that gets his guys in space. I like Tutu Atwell a lot.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. He's gonna have to step up. Puka, his knee is not looking good. Whatever is going on with that bursa sack stuff is not looking good. Cooper Kupp doesn't. I mean, they said he's not going to go on IR, but ankles are tough, man. Ankles are a tough injury to have.
Yeah. They're just trying to stay afloat too.
Yeah, you got to give credit to this Rams team though. Just the fight and the heart to get back in this game and not just go away and just go up silently into the night. You got to you have to.
After getting blown out last week,
exactly.
Pretty resilient team. To win a game like this.
Pretty cool to watch them fight back and win this. It's always great when I see two NFC West teams play each other. One of them has to lose, so we'll take the Niners losing.
If a team was going to lose that you wanted to lose, it was the Niners.
Yes, so it's perfect. Everything worked out fine, and
you got to go catch Geno Smith though. Y'all got to go catch Geno Smith still.
We got that boy locked up. I'm telling you. Don't worry about that.
Oh, man.
We'll
shout out Kyron Williams too, and specifically McVay though. The way he's just kind of really getting his guys in the end zone. When I was rewatching the game, there was this one play on the goal line, dude, where they did like a counter basically with Stafford and the way he turned to create the handoff. And dude, like the whole defense flowed to the way that Stafford opened at the snap to hand the ball off, and then he just slips back the other way, hands it, wide open hole for a touchdown, dude. That's McVay, and like the way he counters, times it well, sets things up. It's the type of stuff I'm seeing like the Steelers do with Justin Fields,
Yep.
which is also like very impressive. But coaching, dude, I mean, Rams showing out with that. So, I mean, they're not gonna go away. They're not gonna go away. They'll still be competitive, in some weeks. But this was a good dub for them.
Yep. Good win. You touched on pretty much everything I was going to say. They're really missing Pearsall and like another receiver because Ayuk, I feel like he got paid and then his mind's elsewhere right now. It honestly feels that way, and it's sad because you get paid this amount of money, man, and I don't know. I'm never going to be in a position to make that kind of cash, but I don't know. The type of person that I am, I want to go prove why I'm worth that much money. Ayuk just seems content with be like, oh, fuck, I'm getting paid $30+ million.
Who was that player
I'm
for
good.
the Memphis Grizzlies where they like saw pictures of him at like some kind of club with a bunch of girls? Ja Morant, where the money was like covering the floor.
Bro.
I feel like we're gonna see a picture of Ayuk like that.
I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
I feel like we're gonna see something like that of him, bro. Because I mean, the way he's been ghost since he got paid. I mean, dude, he's just dropping passes. He's not looking like he wants to win or he's hungry right now.
It's literally drops where you're like, I don't care if you get paid or not. You should be making that catch. You're in the NFL. Like those type of plays where I'm like, dude, man, Niners fans are just freaking kicking.
You need Pearsall.
Right, yeah, they do. I'm good with this game though.
Yeah.
Let's go Ravens Cowboys. What do you think?
Well, I said if Ravens were gonna win the game, they needed to get about 200 from Henry. They didn't get 200. Nope. Didn't they get like 150 though?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Henry went off this game, dude, and I mean they ran the ball. I think like 80% of their plays or like 70% of their plays or something crazy like that.
It was 150.
150.
151 actually. So
he had 151. So yeah, I know. He had like 150 in this game, dude, and I mean their run to pass ratio. They just looked at the Cowboys' inability to stop the run and said, "Bet." Just smashed.
Literally,
smashed them up the entire game. The Cowboys. I thought the Cowboys were gonna come back and win it in the end, dude. That momentum switch at the end of the fourth quarter, that was crazy. I thought the Cowboys were gonna come back and win the game. I'm not gonna lie, but that would have been funny if the Ravens blew another one. But they're not 0-3. John Harbaugh did not look happy either way.
Nope.
But this is what good coaching does, though. A well-coached organization. They go, okay, the team isn't able to stop the run. We're just going to run the ball damn near every play. That's what a good coach organization does.
Huh. That's weird.
That's weird, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like when you see a deficiency in an opponent, you just attack it.
Uh-huh.
It's usually what good teams do. Only good teams do that.
I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, I never would have thought about that either. 60 dropbacks for Caleb Williams. What the? Anyway, bro. Anyway. This game, though, I mean, clutch catch by Zay at the end, dude. That was very well contested to where I thought the Cowboys were going to get a chance, bro, but they didn't. Kevontae Turpin with the score, bro. Shout out Kevontae Turpin. Get him the ball more. I think he's an electric player. They need to get the ball more. Brandon Cooks, shift him back a little bit. Make him not so big part of the offense because he's not really doing much of anything.
Nope.
He's just taking up snaps at this point. So, they just need to find some other weapon aside from CD, and I think they'll get back on track a little bit. Defense needs to figure something out, bro.
Yeah.
Because you can't be getting run on this like every game.
Mm-mm.
I mean, teams are going to do this until they figure out how to stop the run. And, I mean, they got the players to do it, I believe. I do believe the front seven is more talented than they're showing, but they got to toughen the F up, dude.
Yeah. You saw DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons getting into it on the sideline. And then CD and Dak getting into it on the sideline. It's like
this is very Cowboys, though.
Very Cowboys. Just everyone pointing fingers. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. And then all of a sudden, they lose in Jerry's World back-to-back times. You're like, oh, not good. Ravens team is good. This is what the Ravens offense should look like every single week. Give Derrick Henry the football and run Lamar off of him.
They're like,
it's unbelievable how that works.
They're like, we didn't sign Derrick Henry to run the ball with him 30 times a game. Well, you better.
Yeah,
you better, bro.
Ravens fans are just like, dude, we have the most physically imposing running back in the past decade, and we're not going to run him into the ground.
He gets better with carries. He gets better.
Average 6 yards a carry. Had 2 touchdowns. Lamar, 87 yards on the ground, touchdown. Justice Hill is doing his thing as a change of pace back.
They just paid him too. Like I like his change of pace.
Man.
I want to see him get Keaton Mitchell back too. I really like Keaton Mitchell.
Yep, I'm with you. He's a good back too. They're looking for a second option behind him, and Jake Ferguson's not that guy. He's just a safety blanket.
No.
Tolbert and Turpin are kind of like the two guys that they're leaning on.
Tolbert is not a separator, and he's not a guy you can rely upon for any kind of like volume of production. You need to be able to include a guy like Turpin more to the offense, scheme touches for him, get the ball in his hands because he's electric. You need to use him like the Packers use Jaden Reed.
Yeah, Cowboys need to either invest in trading for someone or look at this talented receiver class from next year.
Trading for someone. Oh, what if they traded for Devontae Adams?
That would be nasty, bro. That would be nasty.
Devontae or Jacoby Myers. Ooh, I like them. I like them for a trade a lot, bro. Actually,
yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
They gotta make it. They gotta make a move.
They need it. They need that number 2 on offense. I mean, CD and Devontae. Ooh.
That'd be
Wait a minute.
Nasty.
Wait a minute. If they're all in, bro. Hey, if they're actually all in,
Jerry,
bro.
if you're all in, sign Devontae right now.
Yeah, go get Devontae, bro. Devontae or Jacoby. Jacoby Myers is sick too. Either one of them. Raiders are gonna be selling after they lose another game or two, bro. They're looking like it's going downhill pretty quick there.
The thing is with the Raiders though is like I don't know. Devontae, he chased the bag and good for him, but
He said he wanted to go play with Carr.
Who in their right mind? Carr looked like he's looked great this season, but up until like 2 weeks ago, I thought Derek Carr was a bottom 5 quarterback. So there's still a lot of time.
5. He's like 16 to 20. He's somewhere around there.
I'm a Derek Carr hitter. But Chiefs Falcons, you go with that game?
Yeah, I'm pretty good on the
Chiefs Falcons,
Ravens Cowboys. Let's see them trade for a receiver though. I think they really need that. Turpin be a 3. Ooh, I like that a lot.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, but Chiefs Falcons though, I gotta say something about that 4th and inches call really quick before we get to the rest of the game. I hate it. I hate it. I have a lot of questions about Bijan Robinson. I'm gonna go a little Bijan rant in a second, I think. But just when it's the whole 4th and inches and just running a very stagnant run, like with no other action around it. Literally just, oh yeah, we're just gonna blow the Chiefs off the ball. It's like Nick Bolton shut that shit down so quick, bro. It's like nothing to make him like look anywhere else. Literally just a stagnant outside zone. Like, woo, man, that made my blood boil, bro. I was like, dude, I hate when teams get in short yardage and they just stagnant run the ball. You will never see the Packers do that. The Packers, amazing offensively coached team, they know that if they want to run the ball straight at somebody, they're at least going to make you look somewhere else. Like, they're not going to just say, snap, handoff. You know, it's like, man, no pulling guards, no, like, jet motion, no anything to make them look somewhere else. No, like, reverse handoff turn. It's just was disgusting, dude. The play call at the end. I would have loved to see them just pass it, even run it, even check it down to a guy like Bijan. Get him in space. This guy is not. I don't think he's a good runner. Like, just straight up, I don't think he's a good runner. I think he looks good in space, but in terms of handing the ball off in a field to set up blocks and hit the hole hard with any kind of power, I don't think he's a good runner. I think that all the talk about him was way overrated. I didn't like him a lot coming out of the draft last year. I thought that like all the comparisons of him to like LaDainian Tomlinson were absurd, and I don't like him as a runner. I think Algier is a way better runner in terms of efficiency and setting up blocks, hitting the hole hard and getting you yards. There's a reason why we're seeing Bijan's yards per carry look the way they are. He doesn't have any physical side to his game. It's like very soft.
There's a little tentativeness when he hits the hole where it's like, am I gonna get hit? Like
it's that lack of physical presence. When you're a back, you cannot have that. He looks like Matt Forte, but with Matt Forte, at least he would hit the hole sometimes. This guy, like if you don't get him in space,
Matt Forte.
Huh?
Shout out Matt Forte. Matt Forte.
I like Matt Forte. I always thought he was missing something, and that's why they would always sign a power back to complement him. And it's like you can run routes Bijan out of the backfield. You can split him out wide, throw him passes. You can screen him and get him in space.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to sit there and just try to mash the ball with him, you're going to be frustrated all game. And also Kirk Cousins. Dude is a statue back there. We're seeing strip sacks, his arm getting hit constantly. Dude's not feeling anything in the pocket, dude. Man, this Falcons team is so frustrating. They should have won this game, dude.
Yeah.
They should have won this game.
All that being said, they should have won the game.
They should have won this game.
Yep.
And they didn't because of certain decisions of who to get the ball to when, play call, and Kirk Cousins' inability to feel in the pocket. Oh, my gosh. This team is so frustrating because they have so much talent, and they're just not getting the most out of it. And I hate watching bad football, and they had so much bad football in this game.
Yeah, it seems like the Falcons ran the outside zone play probably 8 or 9 times.
Oh my gosh,
the same
dude.
exact play, and then you go to it on 4th and inches. Like, it's been stopped the entire game thinking for a different result. Yeah.
No jet motion or nothing to try to make the defense guess. They literally just said, we're going to beat you up front with the guy who's not physical. And it's like,
come on, man. Yep.
Man,
I'm
that
with
was
you.
hard to watch.
I'm with you. I also want to
Such a
touch.
dud way to end the game.
Yeah, I also want to touch on this no call on Kyle Pitts.
In the end zone, the pass interference. Yeah.
I want to go into.
They never give those tight ends the calls, though. They
okay.
never do.
But if
They
that was
should.
Travis Kelce, there's 8 flags in the field. I'm telling you right now, it's not a surprise. I'm not telling people something that they don't know, but it's so blatantly obvious that whenever the Chiefs are playing and there's an iffy call, they give it to the Chiefs or they don't throw it because of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think if they get the ball at the 1, they punch it in, they go for. I posted TikTok about this, and a guy in the comments.
Did?
Yeah, a guy in the comments. It didn't blow up. It got like 15K views, so not terrible. But all the people in the comments are like, "Oh, I went through a hypothetical situation throughout the entire rest of the game," and a guy brought up a great point because they go up. I think it was 23-22 at that point. They probably go for 2 because they're not gonna kick an extra point. Doesn't really do much in that situation.
You want to go
So
by 3.
Say either they get it or don't get it, right? The very next drive, the Falcons got to stop. And that wasn't a stop where it was like the Chiefs were being conservative or whatever. They passed the ball on 3rd down and Mahomes just missed the guy. So they punt. Think about this. If they get the ball back with up 23-22 with a 2-minute warning, and I think Chiefs had at that time 2 timeouts, okay? You get a 1st down, the game's over. You know what I mean? So run the football, whatever, and then all of a sudden on that 3rd and 1, and then led to the 4th and inches. Either you kick the field goal and you go up 4 with 40 seconds left or whatever. At least you are forcing the Chiefs to score a touchdown at that point instead of what happened. And literally that all stems to the no call on Kyle Pitts that the previous week. They gave that same exact bang type of call to the Chiefs, and a bunch of Chiefs fans in the comments were like, "Well, you said you didn't want it called on you guys anymore. Oh, it's convenient how everything flips when it happens to you guys, but all of a sudden,
I should have known better in this game. The Chiefs, like,
they were not gonna let them lose on Sunday night, bro.
When we were previewing the week, you're like, I'm picking the Chiefs because it's Chiefs in prime time, and I'm like, man, the Falcons got to win this game. I was like,
simple,
I felt matchup was like very good for the Falcons, and it looked great.
Yep, they should have won.
They should have won the game. And like you said, the calls, there is a total tendency of the Chiefs to get calls in big games, and I do think that it's unfortunate. It's pretty unfortunate that is the case, and it just makes football not fun.
And pivotal moments too. There's another thing that I was reading is
pivotal moments.
There's calls like the PI where that directly impacts a touchdown. You're on the 1 yard line. You have 4 tries. They would have
scored.
They would have scored. Even if it was a Kirk Cousins QB sneaker, some bullshit, whatever.
They would have scored.
You cannot tell me that touchdown. Maybe it changes the Chiefs' play call on 1st and 2nd down because they realized they have to get in field goal range. But it wasn't like they were being conservative. They were passing the ball on 3rd down, and Mahomes missed them.
He was missing some throws. He looked off this game.
He didn't look that good.
No, he didn't look good. And this is back-to-back games. He's struggling.
All 3 games he hasn't looked great. Like
week 1 was kind of a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Week 2 and 3 though, he's kind of struggled.
but
uncharacteristically.
it's so frustrating because um, there are some other calls that went the Falcons' way, but it doesn't have that pivotal aspect of like putting you on the 1 yard line to go up with 4 minutes left in the fourth. That's the type of stuff where it's like I can't stand watching the Chiefs in prime time. First, because Chris Collinsworth is just
He's
glazing
just
all over
glazing,
Mahomes'
bro.
dick. It's ridiculous.
Glazing, bro.
Like Mahomes almost
Yeah,
got
it's so
sacked, and
obnoxious.
he was like, "Look at Mahomes there. How did he get that ball off? Like literally on an incomplete pass." I'm like, "Okay, he didn't go down for a sack, but it was like, dude, it's an incomplete pass. How are you?" And this is just great by Mahomes here. I'm like, "Get off his dick, bro. Oh my God, it's so frustrating to listen to."
Yeah, might
And
as well watch the TV on mute at that point,
literally, bro, I'm
bro.
about to start watching like the Peyton broadcast or whatever.
Yeah, on like the Sunday night games, bro. I'm about to watch them on mute. I can't stand listening to
I
him
don't know.
either.
Am I over exaggerating for that? I just think it's kind of
No,
horseshit how
it's very obvious. I mean, even going back to the Super Bowl,
yeah,
there
exactly.
like when I watched the Super Bowl last year, oh my gosh, the
Mhm.
holding calls they just they didn't call,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there was a play in the Super Bowl also too where there was a clear and obvious play where Mahomes intentionally grounded the ball. He threw it over the middle of the field with nobody there, and he was about to get sacked. And I couldn't believe it. Not the announcers didn't talk about it, and I know there's the whole you can't see it on the field. They showed another angle. There was nobody there, and he just dirted it. And it's like, whoa, dude. There's like actual
It's
man,
bad, bro. And
it's bad, bro. Like they're in terms of like their blind eye to calls against the
yep,
Chiefs. There's a total blind eye for it, and
yep.
it's unfortunate because it makes you like question other things with the game and the integrity of things to where it's like, fuck, man. I just want to watch football, bro.
Exactly, bro.
I just want to watch good
There
football.
shouldn't be all these like political stuff with all these politics of, well, Taylor Swift is there and blah blah blah. She's doing this and doing that, and ESPN's owned by Disney, and all of a sudden you have like I shouldn't be thinking about all this bias when I'm trying to watch Sunday Night Football.
You shouldn't
That,
be thinking about how the NFL is an entertainment business and they
yes,
can
and not
legally
a
rig
sports
games.
business, and it's an entertainment, and
They can legally rig games.
exactly, yeah. So
We shouldn't be thinking about that.
we shouldn't be thinking about that, and it's just frustrating because it happened. The same type of call went the Chiefs' way last week, and it put them in field goal range to win the game. Happens against them, and they commit the foul, and it doesn't get called.
I think
That's what I'm saying.
in terms of like the league though, I think it's actually really fun that like so many teams are like competitive. I think in terms of like because like last couple of years like we've seen some teams be dominant and just roll, all season long.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of cool that there's so many competitive
I'm
teams,
with you.
but I just wish that there was fairness and you can totally see there's not they turn a blind eye to some
Yes.
calls and especially in key moments. It's tough. It's
Yep.
really tough.
Yep. I'm good with that game. Finally, Chiefs.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I like to see the Falcons get Darnell Mooney going. I mean,
Yes.
like we talked about, they're getting the run after the catch. They're getting those crossing routes going. I mean, it's just tough when Kirk's such a statue back there. He's not stepping up. He's just dropping and standing there and letting dudes hit him.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Jaguars and Bills, dude. This
I mean, I
Bills
talked
team,
about this being a potential blowout.
this Bills team, bro. They look good. They look
This
really,
Jags team, though, they look really bad.
It's both. It's both. It's
Nah,
both.
bro.
It's both.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the floor on this one. I'm curious to see what you think.
That Jags defense, man. I mean,
Boy.
what is there to say about it? I
Boy.
mean, we talked about them not having any kind of punch on defense. Okay, Josh Hines, Allen, whatever. Yeah, cool. Decent pass rusher. Outside of that,
Pretty much all I got.
who is stopping any opposing offense from doing whatever they want to do? Nobody. There's nobody on this defense that you have to offensively prepare for and say, if we don't stop this guy, he will wreck our game. There is nobody on this entire defense that will stand up and do anything about that. And when you got a quarterback like Josh Allen, who extends plays, who is hard to bring down in the pocket, who can use his legs on a 3rd and 4, and it's basically an automatic first down every single play, you're toast. I mean,
Yeah.
34-3 at half.
Yikes, dude.
I mean, I think the biggest thing about this is like I'm kind of watching about how long does it take for them to fire Doug Peterson? I mean,
Yeah.
I think that he's going to get fired by mid-season, week 10ish. I
If
think
they lose
he's
one more game like this, like a big loss like this, he might be gone next week, bro. I don't know. Who
Hey,
they
bro,
play.
wait till the Bears light him up in London. Let's go. That's their
My
home turf, bro.
God. Oh
If
my
the Bears
God.
light him up in London, bro, that would be
Stop it.
he's going to be staying in London. He ain't getting a plane ride home, bro.
Jaguars get the Texans next week in Houston. It is going to be a massacre.
Ooh. Oh yeah, no, the Nico's about to have 200, bro.
That's music to my ears.
Yeah.
My
So
wide receiver
the
one.
thing is with like the Texans and Jags, like that type of matchup, the Texans match up great with a team like that because they can literally just run routes and execute their offense, and they're gonna win their one-on-ones.
Yep.
But in terms of this game that we're talking about right now, it's just the pass rush.
Yeah.
Nobody gets after the quarterback. Nobody stops the run. There's a soft squishy on both sides of the ball, and it's like the one thing I heard the broadcast talking about how Doug Peterson was talking to the locker room saying that he was looking to Brian Thomas to bring a spark to the team. Red flag. The fact that, or you said bring energy to the team. I'm like, whoa, dude. So you're saying all these electric players on offense aren't bringing any energy to the team? Like, that's a big red flag on him and his prospects going forward in terms of the season, because that sounds like a team that doesn't believe in themselves or him, honestly.
Also, why are you asking the Rook?
But the fact that you got a guy like Gabe Davis, you got a guy like Christian Kirk, you got a guy like Evan Ingram, you got a guy like ETN, you got a guy like Trevor Lawrence, you got all these players that can make plays and have shown it throughout their career that they can make plays. Gabe Davis, not the best receiver, but he makes plays. The fact that you got all these guys and you're talking about a rookie needing to bring edge to an offense, it's like with the point where they just paid Trevor, they should not be talking about anything like that. They should be executing, putting up points, and they're not doing that. And the fact that like he mentioned that before the game, this thing's about to go downhill really fast. I believe that he's going to get fired by midseason. I don't think this Jags team is going to put up much of a fight. I think they're kind of out on him too. I mean, the whole execution in the red zone thing with them, that's coaching. That's preparedness. That's going, okay, we got these plays that we feel good and are going to score within that 20, 22, 20-yard line, you know? Yeah. And they don't know how to run the ball. They don't know how to add any kind of edge to the offense to where they got an identity. They don't know how to complete passes consistently. Trevor's throwing to the defense.
That DeMar Hamlin pick, what is he throwing it to? Brian Thomas is wide open, and he overthrows him by 3 yards.
Dude,
unbelievable.
This is about to go downhill really fast for the Jaguars. And I mean, it's very Jacksonville. Fuck it, bro. Ship it to London. Send them to London, bro.
Yeah, my buddy from Jacksonville was not like to hear that.
I had a Jags fan that was a friend.
He's this you touched on it, man. You should not. What'd you say?
This is about to go downhill fast.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm with you, dude. I couldn't agree more with what you said.
Bill's good team. Yeah.
I want to touch on the Bills though, because I
think Josh Allen just provides such a presence to this offense to where he's a cheat code. He's a cheat code and that easy button for the offense.
And he's not doing everything by himself. I love what Joe Brady's doing. That first drive of the game is a thing of beauty. He got 3 different receivers the ball. Man, staying committed with James Cook, Joe Brady seems to love James Cook
exactly like Dalvin, his brother, when he was younger.
Yes, bro. He looks so dynamic out of the backfield. They're leaning heavily on Khalil Shakir. He's like that little like Edelman type of guy where you're like, all right,
oh yeah,
he can, but he's way more explosive than Edelman too. He's like he can get up the field and like make people miss like that too.
Oh yeah, that's a good comp. I like him. Like Edelman is a very good comp for him. I say.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No, that's a really good comp.
And then Keon Coleman stepped up again, scored his first touchdown in the NFL, and then blanking on freaking Dalton Kincaid. Just in the scramble drill,
just ran across the field, and that Jags defense, no pass rush, let it develop, and it's like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's the thing is with Josh Allen though is like when they throw these short passes and they kind of just get the ball out of his hand quick, the defense kind of forgets or maybe doesn't think that Josh is gonna use his legs to hurt him or hit him with that deep shot because it's like, okay, we're settling into a quarterback where hey, he's getting the ball out quick. He's getting the run game going, and all of a sudden he pulls it for a 12 or 13-yard game with his legs, right? And then the very next play, he's dropping back, beautiful touch pass to Keon Coleman. And then the next drive, he's flushed out of the pocket, off platform, flick of the wrist. That touchdown he had to the pylon, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Just beautiful pass, and it's like you cannot defend that.
When you got a freak out QB like that to where like you cannot just rush the quarterback at the defensive line. So they already struggle to rush the passer and stop the run. So when you have to like specifically contain and be careful about your rush of the quarterback, now what happens? You're having to sit back there and watch and hope that he throws short passes so you can bat him down, because if you rush him and you give up a gap, he will go and truck your middle linebacker and get a first down on 3rd and 10.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. He's a
Nope.
cheat code at quarterback right now. I hope he stays healthy, because if he does, he is going to win MVP this season. And the way that you have to defend a QB that is this athletically gifted, that has the ability to sit back in the pocket and just deliver to the receivers and have forever back there, dude, it's just, you're asking for problems, bro, if you can't get after the quarterback. And you cannot just straight up rush the passer with him, because when you give up gaps, he exploits that because he is so athletic.
Yep. Could agree more. Dude, I think you touch on it. He's the MVP frontrunner right now.
He's going to win
Deservedly so, because it's just so refreshing to see him not force the ball. I broke down his play last night.
I was worried about him turning the ball over coming into the season, but he's not.
He hasn't turned the ball over.
He's using the legs a lot more.
Yeah, he hasn't turned the ball over through the air. First time ever through 3 weeks that he hasn't thrown a pick.
Really?
Yeah.
First time ever. Wow.
Yeah. So just think about that, bro. Just think that's just I broke his play down last night on TikTok, and there were some plays where he took the check down, and I remember back in like 2021 or 2022, those are plays where he just aired out on first down and be like, okay, it's first down, whatever. If I don't, it's incomplete, whatever.
Yeah.
Instead, he's hitting James Cook out of the backfield for a 20-yard gain. That sets up the big pass even more, because, okay, the play action shot's not there. Just check it down for 20 yards, James Cook. You don't see him doing that
next week. Let me see. Because I have a lot of bad to say about the Jags, just because
you're right.
The state they're in, but I think that they got the Ravens next week.
Sunday night football.
Ravens are going to control the clock a little differently and then set a tone differently than teams have in the versus Bills team so far. This is going to be a big challenge for them.
Yeah, it's a good game.
But the way that Josh is protecting the ball, it's going to be an interesting matchup next week. I'm not sure where that's going to go, because the rush threats that the Ravens have and the way they're leaning into it, they kind of get established an identity. But that Jags team just about to fall off, man. It's going downhill fast for them.
I'm with you. Let's move on. Final game of the slate: Commanders, Bengals.
Man,
what
I talked about a little bit in the game preview of, like, I thought the game would be weird. I thought it would be a chance for a potential upset, just because I don't know. I don't like this Bengals team right now. Jamar Chase getting going, good sign for their offense going forward. But it's just something about Joe Burrow this year. He's just lost a little bit of this edge and his confidence, to where he's just like, he's taking a lot of hits in the pocket. They had Trent Brown go down too. So, I don't know if it's like he doesn't have Joe Mixon to check the ball down to right now. I was impressed with Chase Brown, the way he ran the ball. I think he's a very efficient runner. He doesn't add much after the play, but he's a very efficient runner. I didn't realize he was that fast.
Yeah, he's pretty quick.
He's running like a 4.3. I didn't realize he was that fast. But Jamar Chase getting going is a good sign going forward. But, man, that defense, they try to get after a young QB, and those stats that he had versus the blitz, dude, unbelievable. That's like a Rookie of the Year performance in this game. The way that he handled the blitz, I think he was like 10 for 10 for like 180 and like 2 or 3 touchdowns versus the blitz. Like, whoa. With the weapons that he has, I was pretty blown away by their preparedness to handle the blitz, Jaden's composure, the way they're mixing in his legs to kind of keep defenses off balance. This is what you do with these athletic QBs. The same thing they were doing with Justin, the same thing the Ravens have done with Lamar throughout his career. You mix in the legs and make it a threat to where they have to think about it on every single play, because then it opens up and softens up the defense for everything else, because they're like, oh my gosh, this QB is going to break my linebacker's ankles and get a 3rd and 10 conversion. We have to make sure we're spying him. Takes one less defender out of coverage. And now you scheme up other routes off that, and you're getting Terry down the field. You're handling the blitz, and you're blocking with good pass protection and running backs. He's taking hits, but he's standing back there and delivering. And it was so impressive, honestly, from Jaden Daniels. And this defense played a really good game too, aside from the blown plays of Jamar. They kind of hung in there tough, and they actually got after Joe a little bit. So, it's a big red flag on this Bengals team that this defense was able to get after him,
Yeah. This I think Joe actually played pretty well. I think this is one of his better games
This
of the
game
year.
wasn't this close, though. It wasn't this close as the score showed.
Yeah, it's just that it's really just the Jaden Daniels is kind of the talk of this game. It's just how good and how much more comfortable he looked after he hit that big throw to Terry in the first half. I think
my gosh, yeah.
when he hit that throw, his confidence spiked, and then all of a
first one
sudden
he missed, though.
yeah, that was bad. That was bad. But
Whoa.
but he
He
bounced
settled
back,
in after.
and then all of a sudden you have him ripping throws into tight windows and tight coverage. You're like, okay, this is what we've seen in college from him. He hasn't really taken that next step until that throw he hit, and then all of a sudden, I think he makes one of the throws of the season so far on 3rd and 7.
On that last
that is
touchdown.
You cannot throw the ball better. Like, that is dropping it in the bucket, and give props to Terry. That is a hell of a catch. But
when you give your receiver a chance to make a play and you take a hit the way you did and just stand in there and deliver, like that is what QB play is all about, dude. And it's just, man, like his play versus the blitz, it was the difference in this game. And the way he stood there and was composed and delivered on those, oh my gosh, like I don't know how many other QBs are that. They respond to the blitz in that way, Like, it was so impressive. Shout out Cliff Kingsbury for getting his guys prepared.
Cliff, where was that? Because bro.
Because being prepared versus the blitz is preparation. It's not just elite play. It's preparation, you know? And they had a great game plan versus the blitz this week, and they handled it really well. Terry McLaurin had a great game and kind of showed out in primetime. But
Eckler looked pretty good, too.
Eckler looked great.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that kick return, the touchdown. Hopefully they can keep him throughout the season. But the way they run the ball, it's all based on Jaden's legs, And that rushing throw of the QB, it opens up everything else. And we're seeing it. If they can continue to run the ball the way they're doing, this is a solid team. It's just the defense, You're really worried about that defense because I think the Bengals aren't at their peak right now. I think they just got T. Higgins back. We'll see going forward. It was good to see them getting Jamar going, but I don't think they're protecting Joe very well. I don't think Joe's kind of like lost some of his edge. I don't know how to put it. He just doesn't look as confident and as like killer mentality as he has had over the past couple seasons, to where they're missing something. They're missing something, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but they just seem to miss that edge right now from the Bengals.
Yeah, this Bengals team, they got to figure it out.
0-3.
0-3.
Losses to the Patriots and Washington. It's not like losses to the Chiefs, just the Chiefs and like the Ravens and maybe like the Niners. Like, they're losing to bad teams, to where it's like, how good are they actually? I know they were missing some players, but there's something missing from this team. And I know they start slow and they always have these questions of coaching, but it's like, we'll see where this goes as the season goes on.
If you ask any Bengals fan, they were telling you 3-0 or 2-1 through the first 3 weeks.
0-3.
0-3 was on nobody's mind for this Bengals team coming into this season.
I thought they were beatable. I thought they were pretty beatable because you look at the defense. There's no real like threats aside from Trey Hendrickson. I know they have solid across the board, and you look at Lou Amarumo, how you ever say Armadillo, whatever his name is, bro. DC, he's very aggressive, and I do think he schemes up for big games the way he schemed up against the Chiefs. But it's just the lack of like elite talent aside from a guy like Jamar Chase. There's something missing from this Bengals team.
Yeah, man. I don't really have anything else to say about that game. Very impressed with Jaden Daniels, but are you good? Anything else you want to touch on?
I want to see Noah Brown going forward with Washington. Noah Brown's made some crucial plays over the past like 2 weeks. They're starting to kind of get him in the offense a little more. If you can have Noah Brown start to break out opposite of Terry, you're gonna get some athletic guys that Jaden get the ball to. So I'm kind of in a little bit on this Washington team offensively with the way that Jaden is protecting the ball.
Yeah, Jaden just looked like a completely different player, to be honest.
He's playing confident.
Good, bro. He looked good. And I think that's, to recap through what we've been tracking, I forgot what our first week 1 predictions were. We're just going to act like that was a wash.
Yeah.
Through the first 2 weeks, I'm 15-17 with my picks. You're 12-20. We're looking to
We'll bounce back. We'll bounce back this week for sure.
And we're gonna look in. I'm not looking at odds at all. Odds are just it messes with my brain.
So you were clowning on me last week for like picking upsets, bro. I'm like, dude, if you see all the upsets that's happened this past week, this league is way more competitive, which I think is great for football. I think it's great for football, honestly.
Well, not great for our picks so far, but
I looked at the odds a little bit this week.
Oh my god,
They're all pretty even. A lot of the teams,
I
there's
wonder
no
why,
real.
bro. They're losing money.
Yeah.
So,
Well, actually, I think they're kind of getting money because a lot of people are betting big on the favorites, and the favorites aren't coming through.
yeah, but then you got that one freaking straggler who just cashing out on betting underdogs. But yeah,
Not
I think
me last week.
Yeah, that was bad. But I think this wraps up our week 3 recap. I appreciate you guys listening, Randy. As always, appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to follow to the Instagram and TikTok. It's Let's Talk Ball _podcast on both of those. Like, follow, view it, just interact with it somehow.
Smash the like button.
Subscribe.
Smash the like bell. What is that? Hit the bell icon. Smash the like button.
Yeah. Hit that notification button. Get reminders from whenever we go live. It's cringy. But actually do it. I'm not kidding.
Smash the like button, please.
But actually do it. Anyways, thanks again, Randy. We'll be back with our week 4 recap.
Gotta bounce
Thursday.
back, bro.
We have to bounce back. This is unbelievable from us. But yeah, I appreciate you guys listening again once more. We'll see you guys on Thursday.